Hello, my name is Jay Farr. I am one of the instructors here at the University of Virginia. I have taken a few minutes to put together a very brief introduction video. The video is primarily aimed at those that are entering the university environment for the first time in a while and are new to UVA in general. I've tried to focus this very briefly to give you an idea of how the dashboard, the place that you log on and begin just about everything you're going to do while attending class. I'm going to do a quick review of the dashboard, the structure of the learning management system, and then spend just a couple minutes talking about some of the resources that are available to you. They can be through the modules that I'm going to show you that can direct you to student resources. And I wanted to talk briefly about two other opportunities that you can use a piece of software called Zotero that could be very helpful for you in creating a library of your research material and also in putting together appropriate APA citations for your papers, which require APA citations in the research portion of your assignment. And lastly, I will show you where you can get some information in Studio, which is built into Canvas. And for many of you, you'll have assignments throughout your time here where you'll need to do presentations, a PowerPoint presentation along with a associated video that goes with it, including yourself. And this is going to help you figure out how to do that as easy as possible. So without any more delay, let's jump into some of the modules that I'd like to review. Hello. Well, we are now into the modules as part of the learning management system. Let me show you how this sort of starts. You go over to the dashboard, and from the dashboard, you will see the classes that are assigned to you. If you click on your class, in this case, I'll just use the Create and Sustain, which is starting in March, as an example. It enters you into the information that you're going to need for that specific class. They all look pretty much the same. You might see some slight variances between instructors, but for the most part, they'll be the same. You can start off by the syllabus. If you see it hyperlinked like it is here and an arrow, download the syllabus. That's what we're going to use to do just about everything throughout the course. It's sort of the contract between the student and the instructor. Announcements are where you'll see information posted of a general nature. Oftentimes, you'll notice here we start off with a greeting to the students, but oftentimes we'll use the announcements to let you know if there's been a slight change, if we've updated something, if there's something we want to share with all the students in a general format. I would encourage you to check announcements on a regular basis. Modules is where you're going to spend the vast majority of your time. Modules sort of break down everything that you're going to do during the course. So in this case, you'll see they have 7 weekly modules. You can see the module. If you open that up, it'll give you all the particulars of that week. I'll open one just to give you an idea. So this is week 1, module 1. You notice in this structure, it tells you what's coming, how to complete the module, what your objectives are for the week. You'll notice you're going to have videos posted here for intro and for mini lectures. And then this has all your hyperlinked readings and your assignments. The other way you can look at assignments is by just clicking the Assignments tab. And here you'll see all the assignments, whether it's through the discussion board or whether it's through assignments. Typically, you're going to come down here and you're going to see the due date and the value. These are not open yet because I haven't published the course, so I'm not going to pop each one of these open, but you'll get the idea. Discussions oftentimes are used because we can exchange information with students. You can post into the discussion board and all the other students can see it. Your online meetings is essentially what used to be called Zoom. It's now online meetings, but it's the same thing. So the first online meeting for the class coming up is March 15th. And you can see they have one every week at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. And typically you're going to have something like that. The days will vary, the times might vary, but it's for the weekly live session. Over here, you can see if you click on as a student view, you'll see your grades and your information. And lastly, the only thing I want to point out is as you go through the module settings page, there's a number of things here. We talked about where you can see Canvas. In the next section here, I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking specifically about resources for students. I mean, a very quick down and dirty about what's in the dashboard. So there you go to your class. There you also see your assignments, discussions, and any information or announcements that are important that you keep track of each week. The only other single thing I'd like to note over here, you see an inbox. That inbox is specific to Canvas. So those are conversations that are probably going to be in Canvas about grading information, things of that nature. It is not your UVA email. So make sure that you check your UVA email independent of this inbox, because most of the conversations you're going to have with your instructors are going to be through that inbox, not through the Canvas. And to give you an example, a student might get something graded week one, and they happen to be looking at it week two, and I think, well, I did something here that I think the instructor needs to know about, and they respond in the inbox in the learning management system. Well, as an instructor, I'm not going to see that more than likely because I don't go back weeks to take a look at old course material. If you wanted to get my information to me weeks after that, you really need to do it through the university email. So just keep that in mind. The next thing we're going to talk about is a little bit about student resources that might be of value to, especially for those returning to school. All right. So far we have gone through a basic understanding of learning management system here at the university. Spent a little time digging down a bit deeper into the modules, assignments, Zoom, online meetings. So you have a basic understanding of how those work. In this section, I'm just going to focus very briefly on resources for you as you start thinking about putting together academic papers. I know that for many returning to the university, especially if you have not been in a college environment for some time, can be a little bit daunting. And so we have created a list of resources for you. Um, Take a look. The university library has a wealth of information available. As you can see right here, we start off with the two: writing help with APA and higher education research. And then underneath this, it says assignment writing. It's a template. It basically helps you set up a basic template for appropriate submissions that have appropriately formatted cover page, reference page, etc. And then underneath that, there's things that you can take a look at that are going to help you develop your writing. I would highly recommend two in particular. The Purdue Online Writing from OWL is a great tool to help you look at proper citations. And then take a look at this last one, which is the University of Southern California Library academic writing style. And I really highly recommend that this become one of your mandatory readings because it really differentiates between the more informal type of writing versus academic writing. And in academic writing, a big part of what we will be looking for as you present information, it's not only that you present the information of whatever the subject matter might be, that you are able to support that position through the evidence. In other words, the research that you have done is going to help support the position that you are putting forward. So evidence-based research. What does that generally require though? It requires that you spend time going out and doing research. And part of the challenge of doing research is being able to put the appropriate in-text citations in. This is where the OWL can help you identify those. And two, creating a proper bibliography or reference page. And I'm going to point you in the direction of a piece of software that is phenomenally helpful in this regard and will make your life a lot easier. So, that being said, Take a look at these resources. They're fantastic. They're going to really help you. But the next thing I want to look at is I want to look at a little application called Zotero, and that's this right here. Now, Zotero is a free download, both Windows and Mac. If you look down here, it's this little Z on my screen at the bottom. But when you load Zotero, what it does is it essentially creates a library of everything that you put together. And I'm going to take this one out because I want to demo something to you. So I'm going to remove this from the collection. All right. So let's say you're doing a research on police community relations. So you might make a file over here for that research paper for that class. And then within that file, every single thing that you find, either a book or the web or whatever, you're going to want to capture that information so you can use it for your sites. On many of these, especially those that you get off the web, this will do it for you. If you get a book that you need to enter, you can also manually enter all the information you need to enter. So it's a wonderful program, easy to use, but I'll give you a quick demo. So let's say I'm going to do a community relations piece. I want to come up here. I'm going to go to, let's go back a page. So I'm going to go to Google Scholar. I'm going to type in police community relation. Now, the beauty of this, Google Scholar can find a lot of information for you really quickly, very handily. Oftentimes, the things that you find in Google Scholar will not be available to you, the full text. However, I can almost guarantee that almost all of this will be available at the university library. So using the university library and using Scholar, you can probably find a wealth of information that might support the position you're trying to make. Let's say this is a good one. So you click on this and it opens it up and you say, wow, you know what? This is a good paper after I read it. I think this is something I definitely want to put into my research. This is how easy it is. You come up to, in this case, on my toolbar here, this is the Zotero integration. It's going to be the same for you. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to save it to 640, which is one of the files I had. It's going to save all the information. It's going to create a snapshot of this page so I can come back if I want to take a look at that to refresh my memory. Now you notice this time it says full text PDF not available, but you can probably get it back to the university. So now you've captured it. So let's go back one. There it is. It's in my 640. It has all the information needed. The snapshot is here if I want to take a look at the basic way to go back and review it. But let's go here. Everything you need is over here. The journal, the title, the authors, the abstract, the URL, all the things that you're going to need to create that appropriate site are here. You can add your own notes. You can create tags. So if you're doing a research paper and you wanted to tag everything as community policing, everything with community policing would come up when you look for that tag. So there's a tremendous ways to do it. There's some great resources on the web. I would recommend that you look at the Zotero tutorial guide produced by McGill University in Canada. It's brief to the point, and it'll really help you understand this. But here's where the real magic comes in. So now you have Zotero. You've captured all your links. Let's go open Microsoft Word. I did this once before. I'm going to take this out. Microsoft Word is free to you through the university. You have the entire Microsoft Office available to you at no cost. And one of those things has Word included. When you load Zotero, it automatically adds the add-in to Microsoft Word. And this is how dirt simple this is. So you're typing along about, this is the fact. Okay, so you get to the point where you want to put an in-text citation to support what you just said. Come over here. I'm going to go down and do classic view. I'm going to go back to this one and say, yep, I like that one. I'm going to enter it. There you go. Your in-text citation's done. Now you come along a little bit later and you have to do a bibliography, and you've done a few of these. All you have to do is click on that. And you notice it automatically created the the citation for you, appropriate formatted. That's how easy it is. So take a little bit of time, look at Zotero, and look at the resource writing page. All right. Thanks for sitting through this section. We only got one or two more to go and you'll be on your way. All right, everyone, that concludes the very brief 15-minute overview of the learning management system, the breakdown of the modules, assignments, discussions, etc., some conversations around how to find your online or Zoom meetings, and then some brief discussions on how to look for APA guidance and writing guidance as you start your session here at the university. It's my pleasure to put this together. I look forward to seeing you all in some of the classes I teach. And of course, if you have questions throughout any of these, you can always contact any of the instructors. Plus, the university has a wonderful IT support section, and look at the Canvas for student resources. They are available pretty much 24/7 if you get stuck somewhere in Canvas. So, the combination of those things should make it pretty easy for you to move forward. Again, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing all of you at some point in class.